Welcome to Takshisala Gurukul channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe immediately, press the bell button and write your comments and feedback. Share with your friends as much as possible. We provide online Kundalini Raja Yoga initiation and Kundali activation in 6 months.
26. Raja Yoga instruction. Raja Yoga Pellar Sutani Rajashekar, the yoga that reigns on the head of Shruti like a jewel, to Shanmukha. When Shiva woke up from the grave, Shanmukha was sitting before him with bowed down. Rajashekar, embracing him, with compassion, said, Kanda, I will tell you again the secret of Raja Yoga that reigns like a jewel on the head of Shruti. Get up. May the world also benefit through you. The meaning of Raja Yoga is the knowledge that you are one and the same. Let what I am saying with compassion remain impermanent in your mind. This is different from the Raja Yoga mentioned earlier. See chapters 18 and 15, this is the path of the universe. Raja Yoga that reigns as, face to face, is the fruit of many births, and is the fruit of 1,000 horse sacrifices. Raja Yoga is the one that makes yogis and renunciant kings. It is not appropriate to teach this yoga system to a Dharmalinda who, delighted in seeing the beauty of his wife who is living a life of fornication, lives with her. 5. There are many vows in the world that show the temple of liberation. But they are like the milk of a donkey or a camel. This Rajapat, which is taught according to the Shruti and experience, is like the milk of a cow. The path of righteousness means becoming Parasiva, Brahma, himself. That is possible only through the true Raja Yoga preached by the powerful Shruti. Listen to that. 7. The illusion of yoga practice. O son of Ambika, when the sun shines in all the 10 directions simultaneously with joy, he thinks that he is the eye of the universe. Without acknowledging this, he argues that the sun is only visible to his own skin eye from inside the window of his house, which is a pure illusion. Similarly, the bliss experienced in the practice of Sattvic Yoga is fleeting and illusory, and it is an illusion of yoga practice to celebrate it as real, without judging it to be temporary and illusory. If the all-pervading Supreme leaves home to be alone and goes to the forest, that is only a lie. It is a lie to say that one has attained the bliss of yoga in a particular time or place, in solitude or at the end of the world. The two are not there at first. There is no difference between oneself and the Supreme. Since there is no separation, then who should do yoga, i.e. union, with whom? Cave. The celebration of yoga is a display of ignorance. Just as some people leave their homes and go to the forest to gather people. For whom do they spoil whom in the cold and heat? Is it the body or the consciousness itself that trembles? It is the nature of the mind to endure the heat and cold. True bliss is not born anew through means like shame, dhamma, titiksha, and virati. Bliss is natural, it is born through the practice of yoga, which is a bare understanding. Who does virati? Who does he keep in the forest or in the varnashala? Who does he make do penance with his 6 hands? Who does he wander around the country? What is the benefit of practicing yoga without destroying the illusion that he is the one who has achieved this? The foolish ascetics simply suffer, thinking, look at their own faces and see another forest. They do not know that their God is within them. Yogis do not know that the solid consciousness that illuminates life through the senses, and they suffer in external practice. Therefore, my son, know that you are the unforgettably solid Chidrana of Aru. When one knows oneself, sorrow disappears. If one does not know oneself, what sorrow? Now the practice of yoga is an illusion. Just as the world is an illusion for the practitioner, if one does not know oneself through the Guru's mouth, the practitioner is bound to have an illusion of yoga. The feeling that I am a practitioner of yoga is an illusion. I have achieved the 8 limbs of yoga. The smell that the 7 worlds are connected to me is the attachment. The illusion that I will reach the goal through idol worship, meditation, yoga, etc., is the attachment. The attachment is not giving up the intellect of difference even in solitude. The desire to live in celibacy and other hermitages is the attachment. The effort is to destroy the smell. 15. Dispelling illusions through the practice of Raja Yoga. O Guha, forgetting all distinctions and believing that one is the all-pervading Supreme Being, Raja Yoga is immersing oneself in the joy of pleasure. The soul that is truly devoted, without suffering in any other yoga, such as stubbornness, is blissful. Know this to be the practice of a Raja Yoga practitioner without illusions. The above mentioned delusions and bondages of yoga practice should be dispelled through Raja Yoga. This entire universe is illuminated, and the practice of Raja Yoga is the practice of remembering that I am the soul former, the one who is constantly present in the path of all living beings. The pride that I have done bathing, meditation, silence, and chanting mantras is the only thing that is conceited, and the determination to do more is the only thing that is bound up. The practice of Raja Yoga is to maintain in the mind the self-confidence that whatever one sees inside and outside is, I am the truth, I have no self-identity. The one who deviates from this practice will bring hardship upon himself. The determination that I will sit down, perform bhajans, or travel the country is the bond. The practice of Raja Yoga is to remember one's true self by thinking, I am that self-luminous presence that dwells everywhere. 18. Expecting a form from the outside as the bond. Thinking of another goal within is the bond. The determination to attain liberation is the bond. Remembering one's universal nature is the practice of Raja Yoga. Being in the true nature without the odor of meditation, and yoga is Raja Yoga. The practice of Raja Yoga is to cure the disease of other thought in one's nature and to think that one is a mind without thought. He who is in the bliss of Brahman contemplation without worrying about anything within himself and who is truly happy and at peace without being disturbed by illusions, is the practice of Raja Yoga. Desire is bondage. Therefore, the yogi cannot desire anything. Whether victory or defeat comes, he eats everything with love. He meditates on the scriptures at regular intervals. The yogi is without the slightest fear. He is not afraid of reproach, he is proud of praise, he is not disturbed in his mind by joy, anger, or heat. If one does not worry about the moon, does not look to the right or left, but look straight ahead, this is the practice of Raja Yoga. Thus, through the practice of yoga, one becomes firm in knowledge, knowing nothing but oneself, remaining oneself at all times, seeing oneself everywhere, remaining silent without much speech, experiencing the bliss of eternity, seeing the entire world including oneself as Brahman, contemplating Brahman as Brahman, and speaking among people. In a situation where people's behavior is different from his own, he places his mind in the Supreme Soul and experiences great happiness. He is himself in glory for glory. He has been in a palace, in sorrow, since the beginning, but the palace is not his. He firmly understands that everything is false. All appearances or impressions are illusions, the play of nature, they are not the truth, Brahma alone is the truth. Just as a dog does not feel shame if a person who has ridden an elephant barks, so a Raja Yogi, knowing that whether he is called ignorant or wise, is the same, remains in his nature. Whatever the senses of the body do, he sees it as Shiva. In his eyes, both the city and the forest are equal. Silence and much talk are the same, he is the witness to everything. Whether he leaves karma or does karma, he has no stain. There is no food in all castes except dharma. There is no acceptance in one's caste except dharma. Brahma alone is the pure Raja Yoga. 30. O myself, I have told you the glory of Raja Yoga. Great sages achieve this indirectly without the slightest fatigue. Understand these characteristics of Raja Yoga well so that your mind may understand them. Practice what I have said until you get the hang of it. There are various means for the Raja Yogas mentioned earlier, 8.19 to 22. But for this Raja Yoga, first hearing, then the grace of the Guru, there is no other means. It is impossible to attain this without merit. Whether the attainment of Raja Yoga by the soul is due to the merit of previous births, I do not know. Raja Yoga is auspicious. It is the nectar of bliss, the index of the brightness of the soul, the full moon for the Bodhalaharis, it is good for worship, it is the path of the vast. O Rajamukhinanda, I have told you the magic. He who attains this is the supreme. It is not appropriate to say this to the humble, to quarrelsome women, to the ignorant, to the wicked who insult the good, to the talkative, to the dog-like, to those who speak without slowing down, to the harmful, to those with harsh words and minds. Thus said the bodiless and truly eternally contented Lord Shiva, Shanmukha, folding his hands and saying, Namo Namo, Ele Devane, Namo, with great joy, embraced the Shiva idol in his eyes and meditated on Sri Chidanandatma Guruvara with affection. 35. Truth is to know that Shiva is truly present in plants and animals, in the realm of war and paradise, in pure and impure qualities, in high and low castes and in worlds. Truth is to know that in the phenomena of existence, in the seven elements, in all vastness, the Supreme Being, eternally free from all defilements, is present in himself. 4. When the Sadguru says that you are full of the essence of everything, that is knowledge. 5. The knowledge prescribed by the Shruti Guru is to worship the same austerity without moving in time and steadfastly. 6. Everything that is seen is the essence of Shiva, full happiness shines in all directions. This experience is firmly established in oneself without any doubt, and joy is not lost. 7. There is no Brahman without oneself, there is no God except oneself. This universe is born in itself and appears to be revived by itself. Therefore, it is certain that it is the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Being, who is full of energy. 8. Even the idols that speak are in the form of Shiva. When the tendency to speak arises in them due to Maya, trouble begins. Silence is the knowing of the secret of the harm caused by speech, or silence is the knowing that there is only one Lord of this Maya creation that is acting in me, and who should I talk to after everything has become my own? Silence is the knowing of silence. 9. Forgiveness is the natural way of bearing with one's fate various kinds of insults, bad behavior, misfortune, accidents, shame, meanness and harmful events. 10. Courage is not being afraid if a tiger, bear, snake, pig, elephant or other animals bite or tear one to the ground, or if a crocodile grabs one's leg and drags him into the water. 16. These 10 sattvic organs are like a sharpened sword that cuts through the skin, like a spear that pierces lust, and like a fire that burns the seeds of life. The cave is the place where this sattvic quality is born. Where these 10 divine organs of sattvic exist, there are all the pilgrimages and various yogas. Moreover, it is like a dwelling place of liberation. The one who possesses these 10 qualities and excels is fortunate. A fool who forgets these qualities, which are considered the nature of the Supreme, and goes on various pilgrimages, will not be truly happy if he bathes in the pilgrimages. He will become worthy and able to make himself happy by immersing himself in these 10 qualities, which are the nature of the pilgrimage. There is no liberation from life through pilgrimages. Listen, my son. He who possesses these 10 sattvic characteristics is a great soul who practices great yoga. Without these, yoga is just a word of nonsense. There are millions of people with such characteristics. One person will see their Brahman state, which is invisible anywhere, with amazement. Another will nod his head as if knowing. Only 1 or 2 have seen Brahman, meaning that those who are devoted to Brahman are very rare. The conversation between the body and the soul, son, the pure soul, who is the complete Brahman, does not rejoice with the false body that is not his, but looks at it with a feeling of alienation. I will now explain to you the conversation that took place between the soul that speaks with an alienated face and the body that speaks with a sensual face. Listen with your mind. 23. Soul, O supreme sinner, having associated with you in infinite births, I have become the target of all destruction. You are the work of the 5 elements. I am. You are a bodiless person, you do not know me, you are inert. From now on, do not make peace with me, get away from me. Body. Sir, it is natural for me to be inert in my speech and actions. It is right that I am ignorant, but you will say, I am here, to the omniscient one, is this right? Sir, I am your home. I will make you happy, is it right to make me suffer? Soul, for whom do you make yourself happy? For whom do you do good? I am formless, the Supreme Soul in the form of auspiciousness. Do you know me, who is naturally happy and omnipresent, as a covering? O body, tie up your slobbery and lie down in your home. Body, sir, I am a covering so that you are not exposed to cold, rain, or sun. I will be your legs for you to run around in joy. I will be your mouth for eating, and your hand for buying. And what is my service and my path? Soul, ask me, O Mandamati, can you cover me to prevent the cold and the sun? I am not soaked in water, I am not burned by fire, weapons do not cut me, they do not flow, I am forever formless. Formless, can you bring me hands, feet and mouths? I am forever immovable and detached like the sky. Who am I, who are you? The body, O Lord, you have received worship from me. Those who know you will worship you because you became materialized from me. If you are the formless supreme, who can recognize you in the world? From whom did you get such prestige, light, that I do not cooperate? How can it be without me? You are not a fool, is it not a fool who is chasing me? Soul, in the form of Maya, O body, have I acquired prestige from you. May the illusory worship and prestige be yours. I, who am beyond illusion, have no right to it. Stop your wild words. From the beginning I have naturally been in my great prestige. From the beginning you have been alien to me. Body, oh my dear, you will see with my eyes, you will hear with my ears. You will eat with my tongue and snort with my nose. Are there two ways to eat? Today your austerity has become incomprehensible. Soul, O foolish body, as usual I am seeing without eyes, speaking without tongue, hearing without ears, silently listening to all news. I have quarreled with you, forgetting my self-made glory, saying that you have done me a favor. Today I will burn you to ashes. I will mix you, who are made of clay, with the soil. Body, O pious one, can you say that you have abandoned my religion? From me you will keep, wear, give, buy, make a fuss, wear garlands, wear my perfume, and be presented in the money mantapa. You will sleep in my bed. When there is a baby, my breasts are swollen. You will take pleasure in me, and you will scold me. Is this fair? Soul, listen to your words, sinful body, I am getting angry. I will never have your company. Will I be happy because of you? I am always the lamp of happiness. You will be happy because of me, the lamp of happiness. You will be aware, forgetful, and the dharmas of giving and receiving will be ready for you. You are not in sleep, I am happy. What is the relationship between me, who is always happy, and you, who pretend to be happy in one state of affairs? Body, Lord, what is the fault of me, who always serves you? I have done you no harm from the beginning, I have done you no good. Your devotees will surrender, worship your feet and perform tirtha to keep your feet in front of me. You will threaten me again to be a servant of yours. Soul, listen, O body, it is not a lie to say that you are a servant in service, but you are a very cunning person. You make your loved ones suffer, and at the last moment you abandon them. You call it tirtha. Where is the washed tirtha? Even you have flowed away. The devotees do not bow to your feet, but to the timeless supreme being within you, which is invisible to your eyes. The devotees need it. The devotees will understand the supreme being within themselves and bow to everyone. I do not want the devotees to bow down and worship. If no one surrenders to you, I will tie a knot. I am sitting there crying because I do not get what I want. Please make me your manhood. Body, with a strong mind, O pure soul, I admit my mistake. I beg you not to look at my dull intellect. Please correct me and keep me in your service. You, the man of Siddhi Yoga, do you not have the title of protector of the world? I am here, I will worship your feet, let me leave you alone. Soul, O body, how can I believe your colorful words? You hide me from me with your strange emotions and force me to come to you with your body odor in many vaginas. Is this worthy of you? I will not forgive your crime. Now I will punish you so that your strength will decrease. I will bow my head and eat you. I will spoil you with cold and heat. I will not leave you like that. Body, I was born in the womb of your brilliance. You are my all support. If you pass away, where should I go? Show me a place where you are not. Who else can guide me besides you? Where have I gone when I was angry? You are full and overflowing. Oh, I am bad. The body said to the soul, Soul, you fool, you cannot have such a sharp mind. You cannot say that the hardships you have caused me in the world are so great. I will strip you of your clothes and make you suffer. I will not wake you up while you are sleeping for as long as I can. I will scold you in front of people. I will throw you into a despicable woman's house. I will do as much evil as you have done to me. Body, O Supreme Lord, I will cry out to you. Save me, forgive the crime I have committed. I will shed tears in repentance, have mercy. I will be as you command, do not keep me outside, make me enter into you, I will have you alone. Soul, returning with mercy, oh, your little creature, will you listen to what I say? Leave the body and do not harass me. Will you remain with me with a steady mind? Then walk always saying, Ahamasmi, I am a blissful soul, become one with me. Body. Closure of hands, O Aryan, I say, Ahamasmi, I have brought and released the smells of the body that is a prisoner. From today on, I have given up the charms of sorrow. I will go to the palace of liquor, I will not be afraid of anyone who insults me, but I will be afraid of one thing. I will be afraid only if you separate me. Truly, I am born in you and dissolve in you, will I have a different fate? Swami, since I do not do anything, I always say, Ahamasmi, what is Ahamasmi? I am as I am. The body said, I do not want another, I do not become another. The soul said, Ahamevahara, I am as I am, you are as you are. Be as you are. Bhagavan Sri Ramana's speech. The translation of this English text has been translated into Kannada by Sri Y. M. Ganigera, 2004. The first part can be read by the inquirers. He said, O renounced one, do not let go of my hand. Hearing the prayer of the body in this way, the soul became extremely happy. He united the body and the soul within himself, thinking that there was no debt between him and the body. He himself became a solid Paranjoti and shone every day. The soul resided in the body that was like a burnt cloth. O cave, the conversation between the body and the soul has ended here. 45. Thus, having continuously maintained the 10 sattvic qualities with joy, the great souls shine as bodiless souls and they truly attain the state of being at peace and witness. The unequaled men, who are endowed with these sattvic qualities, are you with the Supreme Lord and the body that adorn their bodies, as mentioned above, and directly demonstrate the unity of the body. They will be attached to the body. They will appear as the embodiment of the spirit, the shining soul. O son, have you listened to the 10 qualities with both ears? Accomplish what you have heard with a steady mind. Until this state is reached, eliminate the feeling of harmony between the soul and the body and become free from the feeling of the body. In this way, ascetics have attained liberation from the body. If you do so, you will become formless and austere. This teaching should not be given to those who are indecisive, to those who want many things, to those who are filled with the fragrance of material things in their hearts, to the deceivers, to the foolish, to those who are addicted to evil, to those who are in bad company, to those who are deceitful, and to those who slander old age and righteousness. Shanmukha, rejoicing, heard from the face of Lord Shiva the 10 qualities of supreme effort. Having completed his 12 acts, he half closed his eyes in bliss. Chidanandatma, knowing the Guru, meditated. 51.